So I'm here today to actually just be with y'all and go through some breathing techniques that would actually calm and during your stress moment and stuff. So before that, okay, let's do a visualization here. Okay, imagine you are holding a baby. Okay, and the baby is just crying non-stop, right? And it's just crying and crying. How much you have given, you've fed the baby, you've rocked the baby, you've moved around with the baby, but the baby is just crying. Now, while you're doing that, notice your breathing. How is your breathing level? Notice your body. What is your body's reaction? What thoughts are coming up in your head right now? Just be present at that moment of carrying this baby who is non-stop crying. What's the body going through now? Is there a sense of tightness in your body? What reaction would you just want to run away? Keep the child away and just run off? Experiencing that right now at this point of time, okay, relate that feeling to what we're going through at this MCO period. Okay? MCO period, we are always listening about COVID news, latest updates, and then some we have fake news coming up as well, telling people to be aware of the places and stuff like that. And our mind is reacting to it. Like, oh no, our area is going to be on the red zone, this and that. But we are constantly getting news. We are constantly fearing. We are seeing panic buying in supermarkets and all. Our jobs, work-wise, economy. Every single day there is news about COVID-19, 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 and what's happening in us. Our brain is basically going through this. This is what we are going through right now. Everything that we are thinking about, how to settle in, how to accept this new routine, because we're not going out of it. Yeah? So what happens is, this is what happens. The anxiety builds up. Now, I'm not saying anxiety is bad. Anxiety, to have a certain level of anxiety is good, because that's where you actually turn it into action, a positive action. But when anxiety builds up at this point of time, we are restricted from moving. We want to go out and buy, we are stopped at the roadblocks. Right? So we tend to avoid all this. We tend to avoid even listening to the instruction of not going out. We want to go out and be. So that's how even kids feel when we say no. So what happens is that we actually go through avoidance. And many people think avoidance is a way of just, I'm not thinking about it. It's a way of, I can relax because I'm not thinking about it. But that doesn't happen actually. Okay, so I will just actually show you an analogy of how our emotion is here. Now this piece of paper is our spectrum of our emotion. Okay, on my right side, on the right side is the positive emotion, or the feeling good, I'm happy and all that, and all on the left side is my negative. Okay, I do not use positive and negative emotion because anyhow I feel even a painful emotion is something that we need to acknowledge. But at this point of time, I'm just showing what is the difference that we're going through. Okay, so now I want to remove my negative emotion. This is my negative emotion. I'm tearing it out and putting it, throwing it away. Now I'm resorted to my positive. So it seems it's positive, but it's going to creep up again. The fear, the sadness, rejection, uncertainty is going to creep up again here. And again, I have my positive on my right and the negative feeling on my left. And this is going to be pushed aside again. Now this is where my emotion of positiveness is being brought now. But again, I'm pushing it away. My sadness, no hope. I don't want to think about it. I'm pushing it all away. And I'm back to this little piece here, my emotion. And I think you can get the drift of what I'm trying to show here. Yeah? At the end of the day, we only have a small window of positiveness, because the rest of it will come back. And then we will actually put up with toxic positivity, where we will just show that we are so positive outside that actually deep down inside we are going through depression, because anxiety is depression and anxiety causes depression. Yeah? So now how do we are still having this. So everything is in us, it creeps up slowly. So how do we do this? Why this happens? Because I am a nervous system. This is what we are going through right now. We are controlling, we are being aggressive in some ways, yeah? But what is happening below is, we have the panic feeling. We are already numb. Some of us are feeling numb that, we don't feel anything. We are confused. We feel unsafe. Right? So, what happens then to the body? What happens to the breathing? Okay, as we know, communication is through verbal and also through body language and facial expression. Okay? And communication, when it comes to body language, when your body is tight, it affects everything, from what we touch, from what we see, from what we taste, from the posture, from the sound. And this is why when the body goes into tightness, you will tend to feel like just say a sound. If it's tight and a sound is loud, how is your body reacting to it? What emotion comes in? When someone talks to you, when your body is tight, when your breathing becomes heavier, when someone talks to you, even though the tone is in a normal tone, our processing will hear a different tone, and we tend to react. Our spacing may tend to be closer, or our spacing tend to be even further because we just want to hide and be. So when body goes into that closure mode, actually inside that closure mode, right? It doesn't, the breathing also becomes heavier because you're trying to catch the big breath. So how do we build our emotional capacity? Okay, one way is, at this point of time, yes, we all want to know the updates of what's happening, the latest updates, but take a break from it. It's nothing wrong to be away from the COVID news, maybe for 2 hours. Do something that you like. Okay, and also one more thing that can actually build our emotional capacity is maybe on your fridge. If those of you who like to cook, right, you're constantly in the kitchen and start baking and all that, maybe on the fridge you can actually put up 3 things that you like to do. It gets you excited and you want to do it after the MCO is lifted. Put it there, visual it there on your fridge, visual it there in your room wall. So every morning when you wake up, you look at it, you know that you're going to look forward to do these 3 activities. So one of it is that way. One of it is get away from the news for a while, temporary. I'm not telling you not to get yourself updated with the news, but leave the news for a while. Read up something of your interest, do something of your interest. Listen, dance, do something like that. Okay? And all this that can be, you can actually do this is through willingness. And by allowing yourself to feel your emotions without the need to make them go away. Okay, sometimes we are afraid, we do not want to touch our inner emotions because a lot of fear will come in. Yeah, but sometimes when you actually touch the inner emotion, it actually sets you free. It makes you to actually, your body will expand and your breathing will also get lighter. Yeah. So now, we're going to try a breathing technique here. Okay, and I would like you to watch this video. Right? It will actually show you a certain way of, there are two types here. Here I'm showing on breathing how to reduce your stress level, and also breathing on when you're really angry and you just want to scream at someone, but you can do this breathing technique. So let us try to do it together. Okay, you can join in or you can just watch it and then do it in your own comfort of your room later on. Okay? Just hold on for a minute.
Hi you guys, Kate Brower here, providing you with a growth opportunity which if put into practice will lead to transformation. Today I'm going to share with you a 2-minute breath technique practice that will regulate your nervous system, reduce your stress, and result in you having a greater capacity to show up for life and whatever is serving you in that moment. I personally have had an extremely challenging couple of weeks. After effects from my surgery have bubbled to the surface. I've been in a state of overwhelm. There's quality of despair, which I have rarely experienced in my life, so that is new. And I have been utilizing this breath technique, and it is so effective, which is why I wanted to share it with you. It's called the Boo breath, and I actually learned this from Peter Levine while I was taking his 3-year program, Somatic Experiencing and Trauma Healing. What it does is it tones the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is one of 12 cranial nerves. It's number 10, and it is responsible for the autonomic happenings in our body, like our heartbeat, our digestion, and when we tone it, it supports those systems in working more optimally, in a more cohesive and coherent way. So there's 2 versions that I'm going to share with you, and the first one is one that I will utilize when I'm in a state of overwhelm and this last couple of weeks despair. So I think that this particular version. The second version is one that I will put into practice when I have that fiery energy present of irritation, of frustration, and even the quality of anger. It's really, really useful. So what I'll do is guide you through what it is and demonstrate. We'll do 3 rounds together. Feel free to join in at any time. You're welcome to have your eyes open or closed. So first, simply bring your hands to your belly. Take a deep, deep breath into the lower abdomen. Allow the belly to pop out. Big inhale.
Okay. So maybe some of you have tried, some of you are just watching it, so you will do it later. But those of you who have tried, how do you feel? What was the difference, the body reaction, the sensation that you were feeling when you were doing that, letting go? Was it lighter? Did you feel that it was expanded? Okay. So now we will actually move on to the second breathing technique. And this is for when you're really in that verge of being, like, oh, I just want to just shout at someone or just shout in my room, kind of a feeling. Yeah. So I just want you to follow that breathing technique and see. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay. So what the second version of it, actually this is from a YouTube video. Her name is Kate. You can actually go YouTube it by saying Boo Techniques, okay, VOO breathing techniques. And you can actually see where she will actually show you the breathing technique for being stressed and even being overwhelmed, right? I do apologize and also thank you for your patience waiting for this video to play because we are experiencing some technical difficulties today. Okay, the next maybe I shall show you this. This is also another breathing techniques that we can do with our kids. Yeah, so we can actually, those of you who have your children around or even your nieces or nephews, you can actually do this balloon breathing, shoulder roll breathing, task breathing, bubble bee breathing, elephant breathing, back-to-back breathing. They're all here, and we will actually even put it online for you all to actually get a clearer view on what these breathing techniques are about, right? So, would there be any questions that you would like to ask? Feel free to, to pop up your questions there. Okay. Now, understanding the importance of internal state. That means our internal state in us, and that can only happen when our breathing is in that calm and in that calm way. Yeah. And why? Because it allows us to get better at feeling and experiencing emotions without the needing to escape or to act of them. Right? Now, many of us, we actually avoid. Why we avoid? Because we do not want to explore further. And that happens when the breathing and the body goes into a firm, into a tightness. And that when that tightness happens, everything else will be, in a way they say, haywire. You don't really think in a rational way. Everything is a reaction, it's a secondary emotion that comes out. So what we're trying to do with this breathing technique is to get back to our main primary emotions and how we're feeling inside. Okay, that we're feeling anger, we're angry. But our reaction, which is a secondary emotion that comes out, would be shouting back, thinking that when we shout at that person or we react in a violent, aggressive way, we are feeling fine, we're letting go our feelings. But no, that doesn't help further because the anger is still there. The anger inside us, that primary emotion of the anger is still there, and it's still in a fiery position to still fire up. So even after you so-called you've shouted at that person, you will still feel angry later on. So what happens is when that internal state, to go into that internal state of your primary emotion, which is starting usually here, because here we always have our butterfly feelings and stomach churning and stuff like that. So once that is happening there, this is where the body is already in the tight form. It's in that fight and flight mode. It just wants to poof, just like that. So this breathing will actually allow it to go into that internal state. It's not that you won't be angry, you will still be angry, but you are in that regulated mode that even though I'm angry, it turns into something that I can talk to that person. I can still have a proper discussion with that person. And eventually, that anger will turn into that calmness. Yeah, so this will actually allow us to experience the emotions that we are going through. Yeah, especially now at this time. There's a lot of triggers. Certain smell that you smell because your favorite food that you can't go to that shop, or your mom's cooking because your mom is living far away. There's a certain smell that will trigger and will get that anxiety. The body goes into that, oh, I just want to go home now. I want to go and see my mom. Yeah, but in certain sense, certain picture that will come in, maybe it reminds you of a holiday that you went before and you want to go now. So everything it's a trigger now that we're going through. So when this is happening, meaning the breathing and the body is already in a tight mode, you're actually catching for that breath. So these breathing techniques will actually help. So see beyond the reaction of whatever that we are doing, and trust the process of the breathing inside. Should you have any questions there, I would be happy to answer. And till then, I will actually see you around again. And thank you so much for your patience with all whatever you're waiting and all that. And do apologize for the technical issues. Thank you so much and have a good day.